Faith isn't logic, it's trust. Today we reflect on the life of Abraham, a man called by God into a journey where faith made no sense. There are seasons in life when what God says to you does not agree with what you see, when His promises clash with reality, when your circumstances seem to contradict your prayers. It is in those moments that God invites you into deeper trust. Not trust built on logic, but trust built on His character. Abraham was asked by God to leave everything familiar, his land, his comfort, his security. God did not hand him a blueprint or an itinerary. He simply said, "Go." Yet Abraham obeyed. Genesis 15 verse 6 tells us, Abram believed the Lord, and He credited it to him as righteousness. God counted belief as righteousness. Abraham did not see proof. He did not understand the details. He simply trusted the voice that called him. That is the essence of faith. When your understanding demands answers, but your spirit chooses surrender. Hebrews 11 verse 8 says, "By faith Abraham, when called to go to a place he would later receive as his inheritance, obeyed and went even though he did not know where he was going." Faith is walking without a map but knowing who walks with you. It is stepping into tomorrow without knowing how today will resolve. Abraham held a promise from God that he would father nations. Yet year after year, that promise looked more impossible. His body aged, Sarah remained barren, and every natural sign argued against God's word. But God repeated His promise not because Abraham needed new information, but because he needed renewed conviction. Sometimes God speaks repeatedly to your heart because doubt tries to compete with destiny. Imagine Abraham staring at his aging body, staring at Sarah's inability to conceive, then staring at God's promise again. Nothing aligned. Nothing looked reasonable. Yet Abraham still believed. Faith does not require evidence. It requires confidence in the one who speaks. When God asks you to believe Him in contradictions, He is not testing your intelligence but your trust. Your life may hold moments like Abraham's. Times when God tells you to go even when you do not know where. Times when He tells you to hold on even when you feel empty. Times when He promises restoration even when all you see is brokenness. Faith is rarely convenient. It stretches the mind, confronts fears, and challenges your comfort. But the God who calls you is responsible for fulfilling what He promises. Abraham made mistakes along the way. He doubted. He tried shortcuts. He wrestled with timing. Yet God did not cancel His promise because faith is not perfection, it is pursuit. Romans 4 verse 18 says, "Against all hope, Abraham in hope believed." This is what God asks of you too. When hope looks unreasonable, keep hoping anyway. When circumstances contradict God's word, believe anyway. Sometimes God waits until your situation becomes impossible so that when the breakthrough comes, everyone knows it was Him. If Isaac had been born when Sarah was young, the miracle would have blended in with nature. But God waited so that His glory would be undeniable. In your life, God sometimes delays fulfillment so the testimony becomes unmistakable. What feels like delay is often divine design. Faith that makes no sense leads to results that make no sense. Abraham became a father of nations because he dared to believe what others would have dismissed. The same God calls you to trust Him beyond logic. Your breakthrough may not need more clarity from God but more surrender from you. Stop waiting to understand everything before you obey. God does not ask you to calculate His promise. He asks you to walk into it. One day you will look back and realize God was faithful even when the path felt confusing. You will see how each moment of trust produced a testimony. Like Abraham, you will stand in places you once prayed for and realize God was leading you all along. Faith is not logical alignment. It is spiritual agreement with God's voice. So today, dare to trust Him. Believe Him even when it stretches you. Hold on to His word when nothing supports it. God sees beyond what you see and prepares beyond what you imagine. Faith isn't logic. It is confidence in a faithful God. If this message touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to the Gospel Media TV for more faith-filled inspiration. Share it with someone who needs encouragement today. And let us know in the comments what blessed you the most. Your engagement helps us spread the gospel farther and reach more souls. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new message. God bless you, and see you in the next video.